All right, good evening, MySpace. Coming at you live from Public Access, Brooklyn, New York, it's the Knuckles the Echidna Variety Hour. And I'm your host, Knuckles the Echidna. We've got a hell of a show for you people tonight. We've got Paul Simon in the studio, the creepy guy who plays Pennywise the Dancing Clown, and those two gay robots from Star Wars.
Why does Knuckles sound like a slightly keyed down version of Larry David?
Holy shit, is that you, Nick? You're alive? Oh, thank God. I wrote Paul Simon a check that I cannot cash.
That's all right. We can bump the gay robots. Give me their spot.
What did I steal that from? Was that a Simpsons bit? The two gay robots from Star Wars? I mean, it sounds right, yeah, but I'm not 100%.
It sounds like Family Guy before it got all woke.
Okay. Alright, so between last episode and now, I did do just a little bit of power leveling. Nothing substantial,
is our intro Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon by chance?
Fly me to the moon. No, it's not, but we are still borrowing from Hyper Potions. So one thing I noticed while power leveling here is I'm getting a lot of back attacks, and I'm not 100% sure if that's just the nature of the moon, or there's some other issue that I'm not aware of.
The moon is extraordinarily inhospitable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but...
It's the worst of all worlds.
Yeah, seriously. So, Nick, it's been a little while. We've had, work. You've got some own big news that I won't spoil here, but, yeah, how you been?
Yeah, they dropped the charges. Can you believe it?
and JoJo's pregnant. Oh, wait.
Oh, gosh. No, it's, what's the most succinct and least boring way to put it? Sometimes life throws you some lemons.
And then you buy a house. Oh, wait, yeah. I did spoil.
Yeah, right? Well, so long as you turn them into lemonade, or, put them in the freezer and chuck them back when you're ready.
What's Portal 2? You make life take the lemons back.
Something about I'll burn down your house because I'm Cave Johnson?
With the lemons, that's right.
Yeah, with the something.
As much as they may have tried a little hard with Portal 2, I did enjoy the character of Cave Johnson.
Well, it's not like the game had much else going for it, so...
Really? I thought they upped the ante with the puzzles in a creative way.
I thought the puzzles were okay. I just didn't feel they were very Portal-esque. It felt like a bunch of, trying to comment on a game I hardly played 7 years ago.
Sure.
It just felt like a bunch of strange motion puzzles, and not quite like the original Portal, but, that's not a bad thing. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
I was going to say, you're not wrong there. I mean, like I said, at a certain point, you kind of become a parody of yourself, and I think Valve is just smart enough to know when they've maximized something. And so I don't see us seeing a Portal 3 anytime soon, but that's also not a bad thing, because they released one phenomenal game and one very good game, and had the courtesy to leave it at that.
I don't know, I just think it's laziness. I mean, we still don't have a Half-Life 3 either.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna assume it's not some sort of artistic ennui, it's just, let's just put more porn games on Steam.
Yeah. Oh, shit, the Red Giant. I don't know what's worse, this guy or the Behemoth. This guy.
I think this guy, because he hits so hard. The Behemoth is predictable. Excuse? Oh, okay, that was just ignition. Okay.
Yeah, whatever I do, you do not want to cast Thunder on this guy, if I'm not mistaken.
He just hits wicked hard, and you're kind of low-leveled at this point. By the time you hit the Behemoth, you're kind of ready for him.
Well, you can hit the Behemoth in here if you run away from battles. So this area is going to be a drain on some of my resources, but it's worth it to get Bahamut.
Right, and by the time you get out, you've got a couple more levels under your belt anyways.
Exactly, and like I said, I did do... Ah, shit. I did do some leveling... Ooh. Outside of this place, so
everybody celebrates Cecil's death.
Yeah, right. I'm sitting at a comfortable level
I am not convinced that Fasoya is anything else than a human face with just a spaghetti monster beard.
With a beard attached to it. Hey, so let's double back here. How is the new house? When do you move there? What's it look like? What do you got going?
Well, it was one of those last couple months where everything falls apart, but then you persist, and then everything kind of comes back twice as good. So,
okay.
Just a lot of life changes. The biggest one is the house, and I'm really excited because it's got a room that's going to be like a perfect office.
Oh, nice.
As well as a little recording studio too.
So you're gonna have a nice game den.
I'm finally going to have one. Like, my setup right now is my TV on one side of the room, and then just me sitting on the couch. So,
right.
With keyboard on lap, because I can't have a coffee table in here because the dogs need room. Yeah.
They'll just sleep on it.
We have needs.
Don't you judge us.
It'll be nice. A few years too late, I feel, but I'll finally own my own house.
That's awesome, dude. I don't know if you're ever a few years too late to own your own house. I mean, that's just something that...
I feel like if I had... Okay, so one of the things I've learned about myself recently is... and that's okay, I guess we can, talk about other stuff since we're just grinding right now, but...
yeah, pretty much.
One of the things I've learned is I wasted a lot of time in the nonprofit sector.
Okay.
I mean, helping people is great, but man, I should have moved into accounting years ago.
Making those fat checks.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and how I was able to put money away when I was working on bare bones nonprofit salary.
Yeah, right. Now you've got investment level funds coming
now
in.
Now it's oh yeah, I'm putting 60% of my pay away in the bank.
Yeah, that's gotta feel good.
The funny part is when I say, is Radia wearing pants?
Not anymore. It literally blew the pants off her.
All right.
Well, Cecil and Rosa just capitalized on the death of their friends. Rydia, Edge, hey, level up.
What's all this fan art I'm seeing of me online, Cecil? How do people know about that mole on my left cheek?
Don't you worry about it, baby.
Oh, hey, wow.
You just look sexy for Cecil. Sorry,
life just keeps on getting better. So,
yeah.
I just got rid of cable last month. And
yes.
I just suddenly had this idea, if I put the coaxial cable in the other TV, I'll get at least public access television.
Hey, that reminds me, actually, a question that I had for you a while ago. Did you ever end up looking into that device that I shared with you for streaming retro consoles in their native resolution?
Sorry, I had to go turn the TV off. I was so thrilled about the fact that now I can have public access NBC and C-SPAN.
Nice. No, all I asked was if you ever found time to look into that device that I shared with you. I
saw it, but among one of the things that has not changed is, I don't know, I've never really been a big graphics head. I appreciate what it is, but I really can't tell a huge difference.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was, I did send you another one, didn't I?
Okay.
The device I'm talking about doesn't actually improve the graphics in any way. All it does is preserve them so that they come in on your newfangled TVs as though they were on a CRTV.
Oh, okay.
So basically, they don't get stretched and warped, and you don't get a horrible lag when you're playing Twitch platformers.
I see. Oh yeah, of course, because I had a bitch complaint about that too. My thing is, there's a few things I want to stream now that I've got time again, but I just can't find any emulators for what I'm looking for anymore.
Yeah, and
no, I can't find any ROMs is what it is.
Sure. And the nice thing about this particular device is if you own said games already in physical copies, you'll just be able to stream them and actually have superior quality to emulation because they are, of course, the original games.
That's interesting. That's more intriguing, but boy, those old systems are... not exactly aging great.
No, they really look terrible on modern televisions, which is why I, ended up researching
no.
this.
I mean, like my N64, I'm having a lot of technical problems with to even try to get it to work.
Oh, really? Oh, that's not
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, those Nintendo consoles, God bless them, they last, but it's been 30 years since Legend of Zelda was released, right?
Yeah, dude, you know, it's funny you should mention that because I just had my Game Boy Color after, 20 plus years. The sound chip quit working on it. So, like, I still get picture, but I don't get audio unless I plug headphones in. Like, the speaker just gave out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I
unfortunate.
mean, I don't know, I guess it's, well, I guess that kind of ties into, did you read recently that Nintendo just served just served papers to 2 more ROM sites online?
Oh, really? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, like, I do appreciate the argument that, okay, well, I would buy these games if Nintendo would release some of their old back catalog.
Right.
But as I understand, these sites were also offering, like, straight-up Switch games, and it's like, okay, well, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's just criminal. Like, I would debate whether or not, someone downloading a Japanese-only NES ROM is actually criminal behavior. But, yeah, certainly stealing a brand new title is.
Right, yeah, that's...
Which is really kind of the only thing we've used emulation for. To my knowledge, so far on this channel, we've only used emulation really in our early days and for games that we already owned.
Yeah, well, I mean, I try to own a physical copy,
Yeah.
Just to have it. But you know what? Hey, I bought 7 copies of Final Fantasy IV. It's your own damn fault you haven't released Mother 3 yet.
Yeah, we're fairly entitled. I think I've probably spent close to $200 overall on Final Fantasy IV throughout its lifespan. Let's see if we can bio a robot.
Can you poison a robot?
Apparently you can. Oh god, he'll beam you right back, though.
It's okay, it does nothing. It's essentially a strobe light.
All you're doing is pissing it off. Now I wonder, when's he gonna self-destruct on my ass?
So do you have any plans to stream the new Legend of Zelda game?
Oh, you bet I do. Though, that's gonna be one of those ones that I just enjoy it privately first. And in fact, I've been falling behind on my personal streams of Spider-Man because the Nintendo Switch is having a heyday right now. They just
Sorry.
Fusoya just evaporated into pure beer.
No, I'm melting.
Oh no. But yeah, I just picked up Super Mario Maker 2. Oh,
you'll enjoy that.
Yes, very much so. The Final Fantasy VIII remaster, and perhaps the one that I'm most excited about is the Collection of Mana, which of course features Trials of Mana in its official English translation for the first time. Okay, so here we go.
That boy.
Yep, and now the trick to taking him down, just attack with Cecil and defend with everybody else and cure with Fusoya. Or maybe even bless.
Or maybe use cover? No, that would be when you have Kane, because you really don't have a DPS person right now that's physical attacks.
Right. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it ain't pretty, but it'll work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slow burn, but you get there.
Do you have any plans to pick up the FF7 remake?
Yeah, I do. And I'm intrigued by it, but the more trailers get released, the lower my bar is getting. And I don't mean to sound like a cynic. I can't believe I'm about to fork over $60 for what is essentially the first tenth of that game. And this last trailer...
Oh, wait a sec. Okay, I just remembered it's going to be episodic. So wait, it's going to be a full $60 for
Midgar. Yep. I shit you not. And not only that, though, but this last trailer that came out yesterday, I was really into it. Like, it looked really cool, like kind of a fun reimagining of the game that you remember, until they introduce this brand new character from Soldier. and he's like this hipster-looking anime jackass riding a motorcycle, going Yahoo into battle, and it's just like the fucking. I mean, if you could imagine,
I'm sure you might be giving a little bit of hyperbole there.
If you could imagine like a worse stereotype for kind of what Squaresoft has become in recent years, it could not look like more of a parody of this character than they introduced. I mean, they started off like with some cool stuff. Like they showed some classic scenes. They showed Reno for the first time and his engagement with. He actually has like kind of a little sparring match with Cloud in the church when you first meet Aerith. So kind of using that as an opportunity to flesh out the Turks a little more, which I think is cool. But then, yeah, they do this like extended motorcycle scene, and they're like, "Oh man, Cloud, who is that guy? He looks so tough." And Cloud's like, "Oh, he's from Soldier." And then it's just like this fucking jackass, like, catapults in like a maniac, and it's the stupidest looking thing.
Why am I getting vibes of Sonic Forces where you make your own original character? That's the vibe I'm getting.
It's basically like our parody of Knuckles come to life. I mean, it's
Oh no, it's insert your character's name.
Yeah,
here.
right, insert Mary Sue, and here he is on his motorcycle, just driving in to wreck everybody's day. Oh man, here's where I've got to start using some of my resources here. Small amount of MP. How small is small?
So,
okay,
good lord, that behemoth was loaded. What did he give you, like 65,000?
Yeah, he gave me what I asked for. We'll leave it at that. Okay, now I don't need all of my MP for Bahamut, because really the only spell that matters is Reflect.
Is this Bahamut?
He's coming up. I think I've got one more...
Floor?
Yeah, one more floor.
Yeah.
Cecil, you're my designated healer outside of battle here. But yeah, so going back to your original question, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm probably going to enjoy it, but I am not fully sold on some of the changes and additions they're making in order to basically kill time, because they don't know how to address the problem of a traditional world map in the hyper-realistic world they want to craft. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this is all we get.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Like, it's like, oh, if you want to see how the story unfolds, download the original Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation Store now. And again, I don't know if, like, given Square Enix's recent track record, if I'd be altogether disappointed even with that, because it might be better than them trying to release, 6 games over the course of 20 years and never really getting around to making a meaningful title out of it all. But again, that's just me.
We can't all be like Koji Igarashi and, say we're going to remake a game, take 5 years to do it, and then, knock it out of the park.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. By the way, what game are you referencing there?
Bloodstained.
Oh, Bloodstained. Okay, yeah. Ritual of the Night. Yep.
Yeah, I was surprised.
So you ended up liking it, huh?
Yeah, well, I got in this awkward spot where I was able to put like a couple hours into it, and then I had like a month hiatus, with other stuff coming up.
Sure.
But then when I got back into it, I mean, what's the best way to put it without being patronizing? If you're looking for a Symphony of the Night remake, you're not going to get any closer than that.
Oh, no kidding. That good, huh?
But yet, but yeah, not in a bad way. Like, it also does enough of its own stuff, I guess.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't know. The crafting system is horrendously obnoxious, but I never used it until I needed to get 100% completion.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, does it ever quite reach the same heights as Symphony of the Night, or is it just a well-crafted tribute? Not that that's a bad thing, but I mean, is there ever a knock-your-socks-off moment, like in Symphony of the Night?
I guess you also kind of have to ask, was Symphony of the Night as great as we all remember? Mm-hmm. Because like you go back and you look, and there was a lot of parts in that game where you just kind of scratch your head and like, where the hell do I go next?
Yeah, you just meander around the castle until you meet your goal. Yeah.
This game has two instances that are very much like that, but I think if you take it as a product of its own time, yeah, it's everything you could pretty much ask for.
Okay. I mean, that does not sound in any way, shape, or form bad to me. It's just with these kind of like tributes to classic games, sometimes they do like wonderful and unexpected things like The Messenger. Other times they're just really good throwbacks to kind of the simple formulas we remember, but they don't go out of their way to, really reinvent the wheel or strive to do anything unique on their own merits.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just want a rehash, sometimes you want a remix.
Yeah.
This is very much a rehash, but in the best possible way.
Okay, that's cool, and I'm totally down for that. That was not meant to be a slight to that game at all. It's just like I said, there's two kinds of, throwback games, basically. God damn it. I am really crapping my pants in this dungeon.
Fusoya did nothing to prevent that.
Yeah, he did not need that HP.
He just took it and, darted his eyes around, saw if anybody noticed.
Edge is dead. Oh, nope, you live. Good job, Edge.
Well, that was weird.
Yeah, good thing that guy is really inaccurate with his flamethrower.
Well, I mean, he is just dinosaur bones.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he doesn't even have eyes, so... Okay, so I think I'm forced into one more Behemoth encounter, or maybe two more.
Yeah, you're right, because they are forced, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, speak of the devil.
Yep, and here he is. I think I can afford to attack with Edge as well. Well, I guess we'll see. Okay, yeah. As long as he attacks different characters.
Wait, can you put Protect up on your people?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
That would probably save us some trouble.
Yeah, a little headache.
So, like I said, I kind of dropped off the face of the earth for a couple of months. What have you been playing lately?
So privately I've been streaming Spider-Man, and like I said, I've been really giving my Nintendo Switch a workout with some Square Enix remasters, and Mario Maker 2. I've also introduced Connor to Pokemon, and he's like just obsessed with it.
Oh, delightful.
So we picked up Let's Go Pikachu, which is great for me because I really haven't played a Pokemon title since Generation 1. So it's just all of the ones that I remember.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I feel like Gen 1, I say it because that's what I grew up with. I feel like Gen 1 was the best. Gen 2 was okay.
I like Gold and Silver. I guess I misspoke. I did play Gold and Silver, but nothing fully after that.
Pretty much exactly the same for me.
Yeah. And the nice thing about Let's Go Pikachu is, it's ridiculously easy, almost insultingly easy, because it's meant to introduce a new generation to Pokemon, which is basically what I'm using it for with Connor.
Let's Go Pikachu. That's not Pokemon Yellow, is it?
It's a remake of Pokemon Yellow, yes.
Okay, alright.
For the Switch. But that being said, it's a lot of fun to just dive into again, kind of for the first time.
I really loved the first gen Pokemon because I always felt like they were more fleshed out than everything that came after. Because almost all those original Pokemon were like a pun of some sort.
Yeah, exactly. They really put a lot of effort into creating these weird little monsters, and now it's just like, hey, that's an interesting looking desk fan. Wouldn't that make a cool Pokemon? Not as cool as that dumpster fire in the parking lot. And so was born Dumpscore.
Oh man.
Dump Scorch. the trash fire Pokemon. Oh man. And the sad thing is, we're not really even being all that facetious.
Oh no, you didn't even start making any jokes about what its evolved form is.
Trash Furno.
Trash Furno. And in his ultimate evolution, where he's just a trash truck.
Yeah, he's just a giant dump truck that's on fire. Oh man.
Oh yeah, but his ultimate form's great because it's fire, Fairy and Dark Element.
Yeah,
so,
right, all at the same time. Oh, dude, if I can get him to attack Rydia with Protect and defense on, then we're good. Cool. Yeah, keep doing that. Just don't hit Edge or Cecil.
Do you happen to know, quick side note, do you happen to know when the Witcher series is supposed to hit Netflix?
Oh, another funny thing you should mention. Apparently, they accidentally leaked the release date, and it's December.
Huh.
Like, this news was... I'm a little surprised you should ask that, because this news just came out today.
I saw the link, but I refused to click on it because I was at work.
Okay, yeah, December. Ah, shit.
Huh, well, I can sit down, watch that, and make up my special eggnog made of bourbon and ice cubes.
Yeah, right. Bourbon and ice cubes. And one raw egg.
I am very interested to see where the Netflix series goes.
Side note, that's how Knuckles prefers to get drunk. So,
what I never taste.
I spent like 5 minutes before we started tonight thinking up that intro with Knuckles, and the more I thought it up, the more I wished it were real. The Knuckles the Echidna Variety Hour.
Oh gosh. Again, if only we knew Flash animation.
I was gonna say, like, maybe like for April Fool's next year, we do a full episode of just Knuckles.
Just like Knuckles and Rex.
Just Knuckles shooting the shit, like reacting to other people's videos on YouTube.
Knuckles reacts.
Well, welcome to Knuckles Sells Out, featuring Knuckles.
And the smooth taste of Doritos nachos.
Now in the Mountain Dew flavor. Ooh. That's really not worth the drop in defense for Edge, is it?
It depends on how much you want that attack.
That single attack point, yeah. For what purpose do you dare disturb the hallowed father of Eidolons, mortals? Oh, you're an interesting one. Hope you're ready to fucking die. Okay,
that is exactly what I would say if I was some sort of, like, fey creature from another planet.
Yeah, right. Oh, man, you must have come to the moon seeking a swift ass-kicking. Well, enjoy.
You're in luck.
Yeah, you're in luck. It's been millennia since the Hallowed Father had a chance to flex on some mortals. Same effect as Reflect. Negates direct attacks. Also cast Reflect. Well, that's nice. We're going to put that right up there at the top so that I get these used by the time Bahamut throws his little tantrum. And HP, I think we're okay, because he's not really going to hit anybody. I wish I could save. That'd be nice. But,
oh, I'm getting him confused with Odin. That's right.
Yeah, Odin
attacks.
Odin is just be as quick as possible. Bahamut is put up Reflect as quickly as possible, then attack. Okay, he's going to decree my final judgment. I better take a swig of gin. Ah. Okay, so here we go. 5. What? Guys, why is he counting?
Whoa, he's just straight up Ridley.
Right?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Hurry up.
4. I can just see Bahamut. He doesn't even get off his throne. He just sits there. 3. What? Why isn't he fighting back, guys? 2. Guys, what do we do? 1.
And he's gotta be putting
God.
his claws up, too, to count.
Right? They just, like, snap down. Like, you can hear his knuckles crack when he does it. Oh, God.
Well, he has got some scoliosis going on there.
Yeah, right? Oh, I should be throwing with Edge. I want to maximize damage to get this fight done.
I'm gonna laugh if he, like, says 4. 7. 2.
Yeah, right? He just starts counting in whatever direction he feels like. Okay, so that's good. He can't survive too many of those, especially if I give him the old what for here. I don't want to waste a Fuma Shuriken, so...
I'm gonna rethink my strategy.
Yeah, right.
That didn't work as well as it usually does.
He starts counting up from 1 to really confuse it. Wouldn't it be funny Leviathan just doesn't show up to this fight?
Nope.
Nope. Believe me, guys, I know dragons. I'm not gonna fuck with that dragon. Carbuncle? No, that would be great, though.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a little too convenient?
Yeah, there's some dragons even dragons won't fight. This is one of them. Fortunately, Rydia and Fusoya are more than holding their own damage-wise. So.
Does Fusoya have a meteor yet?
He does, but it's not worth casting because it takes forever.
That's right. It's garbage. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's nothing like Golbez advertised.
Right.
As seen on the Tower of Zod.
Yeah, right.
Meteor.
Here you just want to cast Flare and do as much damage as quick as you can.
2 3/4.
Yeah, right. 1 1/8. What's he doing, guys?
I really don't want to cast Flare again.
Right. Please. I'm so sorry. Well, as long as you said you're sorry. Boom! Is that a kill? Yes, alright, we got him. 7,000 EXP. Alright, well, this is pretty much game over for everything else.
I don't know, there are those damn clockwork dragons in the giant.
That's true, but I just plan on running away from those.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Yeah. Touche.
Do you have any weird Final Fantasy rules that you go by? I think we talked about this before.
I basically don't use items except for... where's exit? Oh, teleport is exit in this game. Whoops. I basically don't use items unless it's this dungeon or right before the final boss.
Pretty much same here. I don't use any items, period, and I don't run from fights.
Yeah.
That last one is stupid and asinine, and I acknowledge that.
Though I do break that rule in this game and run from fights because sometimes with FF4 you take like one step and you're back into another fight. So, well, the Iron Giant should be ridiculously easy, barring aforementioned Clockwork Dragon.
How deep into this are we?
We are...
Oh, we got a half hour.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If you could steamroll Bahamut that quick, you can probably take the Giant.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have the Giant done, and then I think our last 2 episodes are going to be part 1 of the final dungeon, and then all the way to Zemus for the second.
You think so?
I think so. I don't think we have more than 2 episodes left.
You have pretty much speedrun this game quicker than I've ever seen before. But
really?
At the same time, I still think it might take a little longer to get through the final dungeon.
The final dungeon is a beast the first time you do it, through the 5th time you've done it, and then you
valid point.
And then you just learn the tricks. Oh, hey, I don't recall this CGI.
Neither do I.
It's kind of cool looking, actually.
Where does the Giant come from, anyways? I assumed he came from under...
No, he comes from the moon, apparently. So, yeah, I mean, I've actually played through the PSP version before. I don't remember this scene at all. It's as though I'm seeing this for the first time.
Okay, what was the point of the golem in the game again? Golbez had a plan, didn't he?
I think Golbez has lost control of the situation at this point.
I specifically told him not to do that. Well,
all Golbez did was put the keys in the ignition and it just did that. Oh god. There will be nothing left for me to rule.
Going to flip through the manual now.
I like how they use the
golem summon.
Well, the Amano inspired artwork for this rendition of the Giant. It's kind of cool looking.
Kind of looks like one of the giant or golems out of Dragon Quest.
Actually, what it really reminds me of, did you ever play Wild Arms?
A
PS1
long
RPG?
while ago.
Okay, yeah. There was a golem in that game that was basically like a... kind of like that game's equivalent to the Dune buggy in this game.
Oh god, there's Sid's horrific smile again.
I know, man.
I refuse to believe that man has all of his original teeth.
If only one of his 3 deaths had just stuck, you know? I mean, come on. And Palamon Porman back for some reason,
no,
and so is Yang.
He's got to be freaking Ra's al Ghul here.
Right. Yang just looks into the camera, because death is meaningless.
Despite being the only man on that airship.
I'm gonna guess Nintendo fought Squaresoft tooth and nail to try to get Tella on one of those airships, but that's finally where they drew the line.
No, he just appears in the sky in spirit form with Simba's father and Darth Vader.
Right, remember who you are.
You can do it, Cecil.
Go Kimba, die means Simba. Oh man, The Simpsons when it was funny. That actually was like one of their best bits where they had all the voices of James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones,
yeah.
Yep. Did you know that...
Bleeding Gums Murphy, right?
Pardon?
Bleeding Gums Murphy, right, in The Simpsons?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, go on.
I was reading a book earlier, and it was called The Tipping Point, I think by Malcolm Gladwell. And he was talking about, like, what makes things stick in our head. And he's talking about Sesame Street.
Oh, nice.
And they were doing this segment where they're trying to teach kids the alphabet by, like, repeating it slowly. And they had this plan to, like, use all these, and they were going to play it, like, once a day for an entire week. And they were going to, like, use all these puppets and Bert and Ernie and these jingles and stuff.
Yeah.
And what they wanted James Earl Jones to do was come on and just say what each letter is. And then James Earl Jones, being who he was, they just decided, I guess the segment is just going to be James Earl Jones saying letters and reading the script on his own. That's it.
Just looking into the camera all deadpan. 4, 5, 6, 7.
And it was one of their most successful segments of all time.
Dude, I was joking about Paul Simon earlier. One of my favorite Sesame Streets from when I was a kid was when he showed up and just started jamming with this little kid. You know, like when they used to do cool stuff on children's programming. Hello, lightning arrows.
That I may or may not use.
Yeah, right. But you know, actually another fun thing, I mentioned that that Connor's gotten really into Pokemon. Did you see Detective Pikachu, the film?
I did not. My sister said she saw it, and she said it's got a good first act.
Surprisingly good, actually. Overall, you're right. The beginning, the setup is better than what the ending delivers. But at the end of the day, you also kind of have to remind yourself this is a children's movie. And as far as children's movie goes, it reminds me much more of kind of like children's movies from the late 80s and early 90s that, you know, didn't go out of their way to condescend to their audience, but actually engage them in a plot with a few respectable twists and turns.
I didn't see it. I might see it at some point for my little brother Dre when it's on DVD, but...
Oh, it is. It just came out on DVD, actually. So
okay.
Connor had me pick it up like day one.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly, because we actually saw it in theaters and he really enjoyed it. But in terms of like tone, kind of think like the early 90s Ninja Turtles movie. It has kind of like that same atmosphere going for it. And, you know, that same kind of like goofy, like...
So there's a part where Pikachu gets his wallet stolen and he runs through Manhattan, gets hit by a car, and then screams "damn."
You're not far off base. It's that same kind of like just irreverent enough that like the adults will get a good chuckle out of it, and the kids will think it's like, oh my goodness, Pikachu just said hell, you know, because it's Ryan Reynolds playing Pikachu, and you know he must swear at least once per film.
Ryan Reynolds is having a good run of it, huh?
Dude, Ryan Reynolds and Keanu Reeves are like on the biggest comeback tours right now.
Well, I was gonna say, like, Ryan Reynolds has at least been in a bunch of stuff. Keanu Reeves is, like, what has he done recently besides John Wick?
Yeah, that's it. John Wick has brought him back into the limelight, and now I guess he's a central character in Cyberpunk.
Is that what it is, or is it just like the meme lords of the internet have decided that he's like the anointed soup of the month?
Oh yeah, that's definitely it. But by that same merit, they have decided to make him integral to the plot of that game. So, I mean, Keanu Reeves is capable of a respectable performance when, you know, oh shit, that's what causes that to happen. When he puts his mind to it.
It paralyzes him. It doesn't necessarily turn him into stone. Okay.
Right. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I really don't buy video games for celebrity cameos, but if he lends a decent performance to that game, I'm all for it. Because I like what I'm seeing of Cyberpunk, and, you know, CD Projekt Red They're still riding the goodwill from The Witcher 3 for me. So
I remember reading recently that CD Projekt Red said they're completely fine being a two-game company.
That's fine with me too.
Which confuses me because I have heard zero plans about them trying to do another Witcher game, except out of Gwent, however that turned out. And I guess like Cyberpunk is already going to be like a multi-game universe series thing.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, that first
I mean, like,
game,
release
it's like
the
the
first
most
goddamn game.
Right.
Jeez, that's a little ambitious.
But by that same merit, though, it's kind of like Assassin's Creed. They knew following their E3 reveal that they had something on their hands. So
okay, so this is going to be as much of a grouch as I've been in a while. You know what pisses me off is like when a movie is coming out. And, like, it's 3 months before it comes out, and just Walmart is just freaking full of action figures and posters and lunch boxes.
Right. Because this is clearly the next big thing, yeah.
Yeah, that we've never even met outside of commercials.
Or worse yet, when they have, like, a fucking action figure that gives away a major plot point. Like, here's Spider Pennywise, enjoy. God damn it. Here's young Palpatine from Star Wars 9. God damn it.
Oh,
I think Leviathan is sufficient to get rid of these rabble. I think I went a little overkill with Bahamut there.
Let's bring the water dragon inside the giant electric robots.
Yeah, right. What could go wrong?
I'm just picturing Yang, outside in the tank. Hold fire, men. Something's going on inside.
The giant just starts leaking water. Clearly they're doing something.
He just looks down confused.
Hey, side note on this conversation, did you see It Chapter 2 yet?
No, I'm taking my little sister Saturday.
Okay. There's no real spoilers.
I read the book. I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I was a little bit surprised by how well they managed to translate the book into a different era. It had some spots where I felt it was lacking, but overall, I really, really liked it.
I'm kind of curious how and if they're going to deal with Stephen King's late book fascination with mysticism in that story.
Oh, they ignore it completely.
Alright, that works.
Yeah, they didn't set it up in the first movie, and to their credit, they don't try to cram it into the second movie.
While I enjoyed it in the book, it strikes me as something almost unfilmable.
So they have the ritual of Chewed, but they reorient it a little bit. It's more about, like, personal memories than it is space turtles.
Yes. In this movie, the ritual is less about physically preparing and more about going to the local gun store.
You're not wrong, yeah. But basically, it's the ritual of Chewed serves as a plot device to have them all go and face their demons in the town of Derry. So it's a good narrative device for a horror movie because, it sets up instances where they all have to be alone in spooky settings and get attacked by Pennywise. So it does what you would hope it would do.
I mean, we are all there just to see the clown.
That's exactly right. And in that respect, this movie delivers because
you've seen it already.
Almost like what we were talking about before, where they know that they have, something hot with Bill Skarsgård's character, and so they just double down on his appearances.
Yeah.
But
So
there's also
you have
some
seen it?
Yes, there are also some really good nods to the book as well, which is cool.
So, question, spoilers.
Sure.
Do they follow up with Pennywise being an extraterrestrial being in this movie?
Yes.
Or do they... Okay. That'll be interesting to see how they wedge that in there.
Just exposition.
I mean, came from space.
Pretty much.
Space clown from the year 2032.
The nice thing about it, though, I will say, is they don't have like a 20-minute segment where they're just talking at the camera and being like, "Oh, he came from outer space." It's done in relatively short order, so that what you're really there for, which, like I said, are Pennywise being a creepy monster and the losers banding together to overcome their fears can take center stage.
And I mean, that's about what you can accomplish
with a
trying
movie.
to convert a 2,000-page book into like a 4-hour movie.
Yes, and to that credit, it almost sounds like I'm being negative, but I'm not trying to be, because they actually do successfully cram the you know.
No, because that's a huge story to fit into 2 hours, and I'll be gosh darned if I'm going to go see a frickin' 3-hour movie.
Exactly.
That's not happening.
Yep. And so the sacrifices that they make are actually necessary, and they handle them very tastefully, I thought.
Well, good. That's kind of exactly what I was looking for.
They also don't rely on you having read the book. So, like, there's something in there for everybody. Like, if you read the book, you're gonna catch some little snippets that, you know, the movie-going alone audience won't. But, you know, it's nothing, like, crucial. Like, oh, I get this scene and you don't, because in chapter 47, you know, after Bev fucks everybody. You know?
Right, that's what it comes down to.
Right, yeah. And they also take the high road on that. They don't even, like, tongue-in-cheek it. It's just,
I would imagine. I mean, well, if I remember correctly, I don't remember you self-destructing. What was it? Stephen King wasn't thrilled about that segment, and he didn't even write it. It was his wife that wrote it.
Oh, yeah, you told me that before. And I'm just thinking, on the one hand, gross. On the other hand, I mean, Stephen King has a really kinky wife then, so he's got to be happy.
On the other foot, the book was dedicated to his kids. So.
Oh, no. Well, that's right, because that's ultimately, like, what the book is about, is childhood. And that kind of comes across in an endearing rather than chintzy way in the movie, I thought. So, okay, so here we are at the save point. We can definitely beat the CPU and...
Not a single Clockwork Dragon?
Don't jinx it, Nick.
Well, damn, I've been talking that boy up the whole time, and he doesn't even bother to put in an appearance.
That motherfucker doesn't even show up.
All we got is these little weak-ass toy soldiers.
Right?
So,
actually, depending on how long the four... I forgot about the 4 fiends. That might take us a hot minute.
Oh, I thought they were the 4 friends.
The 4 friends? The 4 friends of the elements. Hi, guys! Let me warm you with this fire. Do you need a drink of water? How about a nice cool breeze? I'm dead. Shut up, Milton.
Oh, he's such a downer. That's
Right?
our Milton.
The hilarious thing is, isn't that what he was actually named in FF2 Easy Type?
I think it was actually just Mylon.
Mylan, that's right, not Milton. Yeah,
Milton, that's a little...
It's still a far cry from Scarmiglione, but, you know, I guess.
So, do you know what you're going to end up playing after you finish this?
Actually, I was really liking some of the projects you were talking about, and I'm happy to let you, since I've been in charge of, like, the last 6 months of this show, I'm happy to let you have
It's been hard for me to go ahead and get my system functional on a regular basis. Yeah, thanks a lot, Duncan, for breaking 2 of my USB ports.
Don't you judge me!
But yeah, I think we're going to do a co-op run of Dark Souls 2.
Which
really
I could not be more excited about, because I suck at that game, and you're going to have to carry my ass.
That's going to be... Well, that's what I expected. We just need to get lightning, and we'll be fine.
Excellent.
I am either going to do Blasphemous next, or Resident Evil 7. I recently re-downloaded that game, and I got completely addicted to it.
I would like to do both for Spoopy October month, which is right around the corner. So
I want to save that too, but it's like, oh wait, okay.
Blasphemous could work for both. It could kind of segue into Spoopy October.
I forgot I do have. We're going to be doing a retro game between now and October. Maybe that'll carry me through the rest of September.
Yeah, that works for me, man.
I've got a surprise Mario game I want to trot out.
Oh yes, I won't give it away just yet in case we have like 1 or 2 viewers like on the edge of their seats, but I couldn't be more excited about that.
It will be good, and it took me like 4 hours to get this working correctly, but it was absolutely worth it.
Worth it, huh? All right.
So I was really confused why he turned into the giant man, and then I remembered this is how we do the transition.
Boy, Rubicante just can't catch a break, can he?
No matter what form he's in, he's always just the biggest pushover.
None of his spells work. Like, why is my MP so low? Or my intelligence stats so low? I've even got Firaga, and
then
I'll be surprised if it kills Edge. Nope, it didn't even kill Edge.
Why is he the leader?
Right?
Why is he he's the weakest one here next to Cognazio. No apologies.
Cagnazzo's like, oh. I guess that did something. I mean, not
at least
much.
Cognazio managed to kill the 2 little kids in the end.
Yeah, right. And that was only a temporary plot device.
Big man. Big man. God, I wish Lola weren't dead so I could use that voice more often.
Right. Okay, let's do another Kiraja just to be ready for, what's-her-face, Barbaricia.
Yeah, the only real threat.
Yeah, the only real threat in this fight. You're absolutely right. Go on, get him, Edge. I love this song, though. So yeah, do you have any other projects that you'd really like to see addressed in the near future?
Let's see, I've been thinking about that. Well, I mean, I kind of got those and a couple others lined up on my end. I also wanted to do, what is it? Castlevania 2 Legacy of Darkness for the N64, which I think
cool.
we discussed, you've never seen.
I gave it a rental once, but never a full playthrough.
Yeah. I also... Hey, I also wanted to do the Konami value pack of, what was it? All the Castlevania games.
Oh, really? That'd be fun.
I have not played half of those, so it would be new to me.
That would be awesome, actually. Dude, you know you're in trouble when Edge casts a spell for 5,000 damage on you.
It's I don't have a good analogy for that.
That's not encouraging for poor Cagnazzo.
All I bring to the table tonight is my enthusiasm. Unfortunately, wit is still lacking here. In my place at work, we've still got like 30 tax returns that we got to be finished by next week before the extensions run out.
Oh, fun.
The worst part is we had 30 returns to do 5 weeks ago when we weren't up against the deadline. But hey, I don't run the place.
Right.
I'm beginning to suspect my boss might be a procrastinator.
That's a bad thing to learn during crunch time.
We apparently we missed payroll today, so I don't get paid till Monday.
You know, every once in a while when that would happen, like Paychecks, which is the company that we use for those things, they like miss a beat and they don't pay me on time. I just figured that's less time between my next 2 paychecks.
That's true, but I unfortunately have a lot of folks who live paycheck to paycheck, and if I miss, I hear about it.
Yeah, of course.
No, I missed, I think, payroll once in my entire career, and I personally called everybody and apologized for it and gave them a list of options, like what we could do to get them money either today or if they could wait till Monday.
Hey, everybody, drinks are on Nick. Well, Bahamut really made that a non-issue.
I like how you kind of just saved him for last there.
Yeah.
Well, she did it well. Oh, right, because she can take everybody down to critical.
Yeah, right. Master Zemus! We're really not good at our jobs. I mean... Farewell, Valiance. Rubicon. Like, he's almost, like, too positive, and that's why he loses. You know? Like...
This guy is like, God, he's like, what is it? He's like the Barack Obama of the elemental themes.
Right? Like, he can't bother to be getting pissed off, and so...
Incredibly endearing, very polite, honorable, but at the end of the day, kind of low on substance.
He's never really gonna present a credible threat. Poor man.
Great guy, but, you know... When you look at the resume...
Yeah, right. Nick, I gotta be honest, I really thought we'd get to the end of the Giant of Babel in this episode, but that's gonna have to be at the start of next episode.
Well, there was plenty of babble, just not of the end of the Giant.
Yeah.
I'll show myself out.
So, in real time, we'll be back in like 5 minutes, but on YouTube, we'll see you next time.